अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयः चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. So in the continuation of reading the book Nectarean Ocean of the Holy Name, we are starting with the next chapter, Shuddha Nama, the key to pure chanting. 1. Overcoming the stage of Namabhasa. The process of advancement from the stage of Namabhasa, where offenses are still prevailing, to pure chanting is described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the third verse of Sri ISKCON. According to Srila Bhakti Siddhant Maharaj, this verse is solely intended to teach us how to chant without offenses by enumerating the qualities which have to be developed in order to be able to glorify the holy name incessantly. After describing these qualities, it will be shown how by cultivating them we can avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name. Chanting Namabhasa is endowed with a particular quality. Once the devotee has understood how to chant properly on this stage, his strong desire to chant purely will soon awake. Therefore, in Harinam Chintamani, Haridas Thakur requests Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to explain the chanting of Namabhasa. Firstly, Lord Chaitanya points out that the holy name is identical with Krishna and is equally powerful. It is because of his material covering and not because of the holy name that a living entity cannot perceive the greatness and the beauty of the holy name. Krishna is the omnipotent spiritual sun, and the holy name which is identical with him disperse the darkness of Maya with equally powerful brilliance. In order to bestow mercy upon the conditioned souls, the sun of the holy name has arisen on the horizon of the material world. However, sometimes the vision of the conditioned soul is covered by the clouds of anarthas and the fog of ignorance, and they are unable to see the sun-like holy name. Although too big and too powerful to be covered by any kind of cloud or fog, the sun is still hidden from the living entity because of his obstructed vision. Thus, ignorance and anarthas are the cause of our lack of taste in chanting. Ignorance refers to number 1, the transcendental nature of the holy name, number 2, Sri Krishna's position, number 3, one's own spiritual nature, and number 4, the qualities of material nature. Anarthas are divided into number 1, the desire to attain things which are unreal and temporary, asat trishna. Number 2, weakness of the heart, the hridaya daurbalya, like the inability to keep one's spiritual oaths. And number 3, the propensity to commit offenses, aparadha. As long as one is chanting on this stage, Namabhasa, he may be purified and can even attain liberation, but prema, love of God, remains unattainable. Therefore, ignorance and anarthas have to be overcome. In the beginning, the newcomer has to develop faith on the path of bhakti by observing the faith of other devotees. In this way, he becomes impressed, and Shraddha Abhasa, a shadow or touch of faith, awakens in his heart. Then, after having taken shelter of a bona fide spiritual master and executing devotional service under his guidance, he becomes fixed in Sambandha Jnana. Step by step, the cloud of ignorance is dispersed, and he chants the holy name with firm faith. Simultaneously, he has to work on his anarthas and consciously avoid offenses. This is possible by realizing the essence of Sri Chaitanya's instructions in the third verse of Sri ISKCON. In fact, it is even recommended that one should always carry this verse like a necklace around one's neck. In CC Adi 17.32. Number 2, Sri Chaitanya's instruction. This instruction reads as follows. Trinadapi sunichena taror eva shahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. One who thinks himself lower than the grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give all respect to the others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Sri Shikshtakar, verse 3. In this key verse to advancement in chanting, four qualities and one blessing are mentioned. Trinadapi Sunichena, one who thinks himself lower than the grass. Taro Riva Sahishnuna, who is more tolerant than a tree. Amanina, who does not expect personal honor. Manadena, but who is always prepared to give all respect to others. Kirtaniya Sada Harihi, he can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Why are these qualities so important for the chanter? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that someone who considers himself to be the supreme enjoyer can neither understand his own insignificant position nor can he be patient. He is not interested in giving up his false sense of distinction and is strongly declined or disinclined or even unable to regard anyone else as equal. Two definitions of humility. Srila Prabhupada provides a suitable definition of humility for our better understanding. Humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. The material conception of life makes us very eager to receive honor from others. But from the point of view of a man in perfect knowledge, who knows that he is not his body, anything, honor or dishonor, pertaining to this body is useless. One should not be hankering after this material deception. Bhagavad Gita 13 and 8.12. Sri Sanatana Goswami describes true humility and its relationship to Krishna Prema, love of God, with these words. Scholars define humility as when a person, even though possessing all good qualities, considers himself to be completely unqualified, worthless, and unintelligent. Therefore, by his words, activities, and intelligence, it is a duty of the sadhaka to conduct himself in such a way that he will become fixed in humility. An intelligent person should not do anything which is opposed to humility. Factual humility is the mature stage of prema. Brihad Bhagavatamrita 2.222 to 224. I stop here for today's reading and just summarize. So there are very key important points to take away. The thing here is the author is very clear and make us understand that when is in Ahamabhasa chanting, even though it is sure that one gets liberated, but it is also equally sure that we may not achieve the supreme goal, that is the love of Godhead. So how to overcome this Namabhasa chanting and how to improve our chanting further from the stage of Namabhasa. A very nicely simple verse is being taken, how it helps us. The first thing is one needs to understand what are the qualities in one's which is causing for us to chant in Namabhasa and how these qualities can be overcome. The main thing, one of the things to understand is by knowing what is the reason and by knowing what we are lacking and working on it will help us. So obviously there are certain things listed out like not knowing the knowledge, not knowing one's identity, not understanding Krishna's position. These are listed to be as under the heading of ignorance. And once one person understands these concepts, so he will be out of ignorance. The other part is that anarthas. What are those anarthas that are making us to chant in Namabhasa? And after understanding the anarthas and overcoming those anarthas will help us to lead to pure chanting. Three anarthas were listed out, which is like to have propensity to commit offenses, or also weakness of the heart of not having strong determination to stick to the spiritual vow taken, and also desiring for the materialistic and temporary happiness. So if we work out on these anarthas and having a thorough knowledge of transcendental, these two will help us to proceed to pure chanting. Krishna is referred to as Sun. Sun is always there. Sometimes only the sun's covered by cloud or fog. Similarly, here cloud and fog are referred to ignorance and anarthas. But yet, sun is there every time. Similarly, as Krishna is there all time. It is our vision is occupied and blind by these anarthas and ignorance. And once our vision is cleared up, then we will be able to see Krishna. One of the best way to overcome these anarthas is that by sticking to the verse 3 of Shikshashtaka explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which which describes of being humility and not expecting anything from anybody in return but giving respect to everyone. And for such a person, it is very easy to chant Krishna's holy name all the time. Siddhant Saraswati Thakur clearly explains that a person who is having pride and who is in the delusion of thinking he is a supreme enjoyer will never be able to understand his insignificant position, nor he has a patient to have a clear distinctions due to his false sense of egoism.